Hello, my friends, and welcome to Italy, a place to love YouTube channel, the channel where I like to talk about the good, the bad, and all we have to know about Italy and about the life in Italy. All right, so let's say by the title, you should have already guessed what I'm talking about in today's video. And so, the three reasons why moving to Italy. Now, I'd say that these are the three reasons why, for me, the reasons why I decided to move back to Italy. But so, before I start talking about these three reasons why, the three reasons that brought me back to my country, even if not where I was born in the north of Italy, but in the south of Italy, in Basilicata region. So, before I start, please put like, subscribe, press the bell, hype the video, share it with your friends. Anyway, anything that helps my channel to grow. And then, if you want, you can also join my Facebook group called Italy, a place to love, where I like to share, everyday's picture, everyday life, where I also like to create a community that can share pictures, opinions, and can help each other if they want. Anyway. All right, so let's start with today's video. The three things that brought me here to the south of Italy. Let me start from the first one, which is food. All right. Then I will break it in parts. Each reason why I will break it in a few parts just to let you understand. So the first one is food. If you are a food lover, and I am a food lover. The second is history. Now, if you are a history lover like me, Italy can be the perfect place. And the third one, I split it in two, but I say nature and weather. Now, this video is not only for the people who would like to move to Italy, because I don't think there are only people out there who would like to move to Italy, but the one who just like to come on holiday, or the one who would like to buy a holiday home and where to spend 1 month, 2 months, 3 months a year, without relocating or moving to Italy. But so the food reason, and now, the food reason. Now let's talk about the Italian cuisine. All right. So Italian cuisine, is a unique cuisine. I don't want to say that Italian cuisine is the best in the world, but as an Italian, obviously, I'm in love with the Italian food, with all the Italian dishes. And the Italian dishes, what I like of the Italian cuisine, the Italian dishes is the variety of dishes that we have. Now, in Italy, we have 20 regions. So basically, from the northern part of Italy to the southern part, to the islands and the center of Italy, each region has its own speciality, has its own main dish, typical dish like lasagne from Emilia-Romagna region, or pizza like from Naples, and so each region, each place has its own variety. Bolognese sauce, ragu, which we call ragu, and carbonara, typical Rome dish. Each dish has its own history, has its own tradition. So, and I guess that everyone who is watching the video had been at least once, twice, or maybe 100 times to an Italian restaurant. We know very well that you can find Italian restaurants all over the world, practically. Wherever you go, from Canada to South America, from Japan to Australia, even in India, so you can find Italian restaurants. So the Italian cuisine, it's something that, let's say, many people from all over the world like to try at least once, and then if they like it, even more than once. And then how many people are eating pasta nowadays at home all over the world? Pasta became kind of a dish everywhere. But also rice. We do not mention rice, for example, where we have parts in the north of Italy where we make some of the best rice in the world, like arborio rice or cannaroli rice. So this is risotto, what we call risotto. Then the quality of the ingredients. I like also because Italy is an agricultural country, is a country that has a lot of agriculture, so we grow a variety of food, a variety of vegetables that anyway makes again the Italian cuisine, let's say, particular simply because the variety of food that we grow. And the thing that I like about as well about the food is that you can still find, if it's local and seasonal, you can still find very cheap food. And nowadays, it's not easy to find cheap food. In particular, wherever we go, prices are quite high. So I'm saying that if I buy local and seasonal, for example, I can buy during the tomato season, I can buy 1 kilo of tomato for no, sorry, for €1. So it's possible to buy at a very cheap price. Let's say, where can you buy 1 kilo of tomatoes for €1? I'd say it's hard to find nowadays. And whatever is local and whatever is seasonal, this is the advantage of Italy. So you can still find very good quality food for very good, decent price. So, and this is another reason simply to buy quality still at a good price. Okay, now with the food, I'm done. Now let me start with the second part, which is history. As I said before, if you are a history lover, Italy can be the right country for you. Simply because there's so much from all the times, for all the periods. If we go back even before the Greek, when the Greeks colonized the south of Italy, before the Romans, and so they founded Naples, and the Greeks founded many other Sicilies in south of Italy, like Siracusa in Sicily, Crotone in Calabria, and Taranto in Puglia region, Metaponto in Basilicata. So when the Greeks came, they also built beautiful theaters, beautiful amphitheaters like Agrigento, Taormina. Agrigento and Taormina, they are simply amazing places in Sicily. So, but then not only that, we had all the Roman period, and then after the Romans, we have all the Middle Age, the castles, the variety of castles and Middle Age churches that you can find from Tuscany to Veneto region, like Venice, or in Piemonte region, all the castles, the medieval castles in Piemonte, all the royal residences in Lombardy. So basically, or Rome. Okay. When I say Rome, obviously we think straight away about the Romans, the Roman Empire. We think straight away about the Colosseum. So something that everyone at least once in their life would love to see, to admire. Then maybe we go there and we just see, a big construction. We might have imagined a lot of things in our mind, the gladiators fighting, but nowadays, anyway, it's there. It's something that belongs to Italy, belongs to Rome, a building that has 2,000 years of history. A lot of people lived, this atmosphere. And when I'm living here, I feel like I'm one of these people who are living the atmosphere of Italy and all the history of Italy. I repeat, in Italy, wherever you go, doesn't matter where you go, from the smallest town that you find to the biggest city, You will never be disappointed with the history, with the museum, with the museums, with the churches. To not talk about Tuscany with Florence and Pisa and Siena, Independent Tower in Pisa, the Bending Tower, La Torre Pendente, we call it Bending Tower. Uh, but so basically, if you are a history lover, Italy is the country that can be simply for you. You will never get bored, and all the art masterpieces that you can find wherever you go. In any church, you might find a famous painting or a famous sculpture. Simply kind of for free. You can find Michelangelo paintings in Rome churches simply by just entering in randomly in a Rome church, and you might find a Michelangelo painting or a sculpture made by famous artists, the Middle Age, the Renaissance. It's never ending, simply never ending. So, as I said, history lovers from all the periods, basically, again, from the pre Greeks. So, the pre Greeks, I might say the indigenous people. Tuscany is famous for the Etruscan society who was established in Italy even before the Greeks and the Romans, who actually seems like gave a lot in traditions to the Romans. Uh, and again, then the amount of museums that you can find is simply never ending. So, if you are thirsty of knowledge, if you are an artist, and if you are thirsty of history, or if you are an artist, obviously Italy is the country that can be right for you. Okay, now let's go to the third topic, which is nature. And I have divided in two parts. One is the weather and one is the nature. And so why? Let me explain you why. Weather, now, I'm saying weather because what I like of the Italian weather is that you can find the four seasons. Like, and these four seasons are split in four, simply like perfectly in 12 months. You can divide in four parts the 12 months. You have the winter, which is kind of proper winter. It's quite cold, not exaggerating cold, but cold enough, to heat the house properly. But then we have the spring, and the spring is one of the most enjoyable season because it's still not too warm. Because some people don't like very hot weather, so spring then it's the perfect season because you can enjoy the mountains, you can enjoy the nature, you can enjoy the sea without that heat, that you might have during the summer. But then summer, you have this massive heat wave, which for example, I love. Even the 40 degrees, I simply enjoy to be wrapped by this warm climate, and not only for a few days or a few weeks, but I'm talking for a few months. So from June till September, it's simply always warm. It's not really rainy, but then we go to the autumn, and the autumn is the rainy season. It's still not too cold. You can still enjoy, but you start wrapping a bit yourself. It's funny because Italian people, as soon as the temperature drop a bit, you will see them already wrapped. You notice, if you've been to Italy, that sometimes even when for you it might be still warm or a lovely day, you might see Italians with scarves and heavy jackets. While for tourists or for not locals, this sounds a bit particular. But Italians, they're really coldish. They're people who are, as soon as the temperature drop a bit, they wrap themselves straight away. So the fourth season, the variety, it's not only always summer, it's not only, let's say, winter. The summer is not very short. So it's kind of divided perfectly in four that you can enjoy, all different times all the different periods of the year. Okay, so this is about the weather. But then what I like a lot also is the diversity of the nature. Simply because I'm really enjoying here the variety, the diversity of type of natural environment that you can find. So from the very high mountains in the north of Italy, if we're talking about mountains, and then I'm thinking straight away about the big lakes. So we have high mountains, big lakes. Then Italy is also surrounded by the sea. I don't know how many kilometers of coastline Italy has to be a small country, because don't forget that Italy is such a quite small country. We cannot say that Italy is a big country. United States, China, I don't know, Australia, these are big countries, so I won't be surprised to find a big variety, a big diversity in big countries. But if we're talking about such a small country where you can have mountains where you can ski during the summer. So there are some places in Italy like Valle d'Aosta or Trentino Alto Adige or Lombardy, very high mountains where you can ski even in the summer. And then in some places, like in Sardinia, you have desert. Now we also have, it's a small desert, but you can experience the desert. And then you can experience crystal clear water in Salento area, in Sicily. I'm not saying that other parts of Italy don't have beautiful sea, because all the regions that have a coastline have amazing sea. But some places, let's say, are better than other. My favorite spots where to swim is, but I'd say, okay, Sardinia, Sicily, Calabria. The southern part are much better than the northern, but also Liguria region in the north of Italy, or Marche region, Abruzzo region, but to not mention Tuscany and Lazio. So everywhere in Italy, you might have beautiful coastline, and then you have hills, the territory of the hills in the center of Italy. But in the center and in the south of Italy, you can also find mountains where you can ski in the winter, in this case. But at the border between Calabria and Basilicata, you have Monte Pollino, and Monte Pollino, you can ski here in the south of Italy, or Abruzzo and Molise region, which they have Gran Sasso. So you can ski in Abruzzo region. Actually, a lot of people are going to, from all the south of Italy, a lot of people are going to ski. So you have really a big variety. One thing that always, for example, when I was a child in particular, caught my attention was that when I was when my with my parents, we were driving from Turin in the north of Italy to the south of Italy. I'd say I was impressed by, like, every few hundred kilometers, 200 kilometers, the landscape and the panorama was completely changing. So if I started my journey from Torino, driving 200-300 kilometers, I could have already seen another landscape. And then the more I was going to the south, were changing the plants, the trees, the flowers. And then when I was arriving here, was completely another world for me. But I was still in the same country. So what else can I say about the nature, the four seasons, the variety of landscapes? Then it's a friendly territory, in the meaning that it's not really dangerous. Obviously, if I have to talk about the bad, the worst part of the nature, yes, we have active volcanoes and we have also earthquakes, but this is part of the Italian life. This is part of the Italian culture. It's something that Italians, as I'm always saying, are dealing with it since back in the days, since the origin of the time, since Noah. Let's go back to. Um, anyway, my friends, so these are the three reasons why people should move to Italy, or because I moved myself. I moved back myself simply because I was thirsty. I really needed these type of things, food, food, and yeah, let's say food, history, and nature. These are the three things. Then we all know that in Italy there are a lot of things that are not working, but generally, when we are in love, when we really like something, when we set a goal, we might focus just on the things that we like, and the things that we don't like or the things that might disappoint us, they just go behind, let's say, the curtain. We don't notice, even if we are dealing every day with these problems. But so, my friends, that's it. I hope you have enjoyed this video. And so please put like and subscribe if you have watched up to now. Don't forget to join Italia Place to Love Facebook group. And I'll see you here for my daily update, for my daily video on Italy A Place to Love YouTube channel. Bye.